So you mentioned substance abuse, so we'll follow up on that. So best to hire a PI for alcohol consumption per week, just social drinking. So we'll kind of break that into two. So when there's substance issues involved, um, what can a parent do? And then how do you deal with social drinking of your clients and then social drinking of maybe opposing party?
So, things you can request would be routine, drug or alcohol testing if there's a problem. But you got to establish that there's a problem. And that's the harder part. So, some people will get documentation showing that somebody spent X dollars on alcohol on their credit card or bank account a month. Some people have pictures, like I said, of just empty bottles everywhere. So, taking photographs or just questioning the person on the stand. I had one case where the woman was drinking vodka out of a water bottle outside of a liquor store, and someone saw her. And I didn't have that person there to testify, but asking her questions, were you doing these things? The person doesn't know you don't have a witness coming next to testify that they saw her doing it. But, um, you know, people that might be able to testify. You might have to involve third parties who will be able to say, this person's in my bar, or I've seen this person out all the time, to corroborate that kind of evidence. But what you can do if they have a problem is, like I said, ask for regular drug testing, alcohol testing. You might ask for them to go in rehab.
Okay. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if you're able to prove those things up, I mean, in California, if you're able to even prove one instance of issues with substances or alcohol, you can usually get an order that says nothing 12 hours before or during parenting time, and either the ability to, like with alcohol, a lot of times the ability to administer or require the other parent to take a sobriety test or take a breathalyzer test. So there are different ways to do that. And so, Jim, I'll kind of piece out his question here because I want to get to one of your other ones, Jim. Um, but so if you have those substance issues and you can't say afford a PI, what are some options in terms of showing that there may be a substance issue?
If you can't afford a PI, I mean, like I said, I would bring in other people that have witnessed the person's behaviors. Um, People have testified that the smell of alcohol when they went to pick up, even you could testify if it's the other parent. There's always a trail, um, whether they're stumbling behavior. I would comb the police reports to see, if there's been any incidences with the parent. I mean, that's clear proof.
Yeah, I think that it makes it tough, and I will say the one piece I would give all the viewers is if you're going to come with substance abuse allegations, you better have some receipts. So if you're just walking into court saying there's a substance issue, you're going to struggle. And in California, at least, a lot of times it's gonna get dismissed as you're just saying things. Um, this is where maybe some past evidence. I mean, if you're obviously probably around this person significantly more, maybe you have photographs of drug use. I've seen that come up before, where it was what's this white powder on the table, and why do you have a dollar bill rolled up in the picture? Situation that actually occurred, and that automatically a judge is always going to act in the safest, in terms of keeping the child safe. So that ultimately flagged, and we got drug screens. She ended up testing positive and is on supervised visitation. We didn't have any proof that she was taking hard drugs at the time, but a 3-year-old picture opened the door and showed us she had about every drug in the world in her system. So sometimes you have to get creative if you can't afford necessarily some of the tools.
And I would say I agree with that. I actually, had someone testify that they saw the child roll up a dollar bill, tap it at both ends, and it was enough for the court to believe that that parent had shown the child, or the child had witnessed, the drug usage.
Yeah. And TJ made a good comment, and I agree with you here, TJ. Bank statements, a lot of times, cash withdrawals can raise questions. Obviously, subpoenaing any potential video footage, or let's say there was police involvement, body cam footage, it takes time. But we live in a society today that not much is unrecorded. So you can usually, if you search deep enough, there's something there. It's a matter of finding it. So we'll wrap up here. We'll take one more question. TJ, is that legal? I'm assuming to your question. Yeah, every state's evidence rules are slightly different, but security cam footage, I'm not aware of a state where you can't get something like that in, and I'm not aware of a state where you can't subpoena bank records, at least recent bank records of the other party. So it would just be a matter of going through the process. Every state's different, and especially with, say, security footage, or things of that nature, it may take a significant amount of time for them actually to get coughed up by the business or the entity that has them.